how to put the system from the book It Works to work for you. Adapted from Brad Jensen 2006. First recorded by Lila's Nevolution YouTube channel. And now, it's our turn. So here we go. How to put It Works to work for you. The powerful idea presented so simply, and well, and It Works will change your life. I know this because it has changed mine. The fantastic results that I've created using this idea have motivated me to investigate these principles for 20 years. And I want you to be rich with things that make you happy. I'm going to give you ideas and images you can use to help you to be more successful with a list technique you presented in It Works. What I have done with It Works. My annual income is now 35 times greater than it was the day I first read this little book. I've gained houses, cars, boats, businesses, friends, a family, and numerous creative and prospering ideas using the principles set forth in this book in the past 25 years. I have spent thousands of hours teaching these ideas to other people. I've seen many people use the ideas in this book to create something new in their life. And I have seen others who are not so successful with it. I want you to be one of the successful ones. How to succeed with your list first. Let's take a little test. Take a sheet of paper or your cell phone. And without looking at the book, write down the 3 positive rules of accomplishment that are the key to this technique here. Then go back and compare them to the text. How did you do? Did you miss a few? I did when I first tried this test myself. If you read this book and it never goes farther than the words and ideas in your mind, then you have lost the advantage of it. The key to success with this method is to do it, not just think about it. Don't think that by reading it even many times that you will know it. That would be like thinking that you know how to ride a bike just by reading about it. In order to master the bike, you have to get on it and ride, learning to keep your balance as you move forward. This is exactly the way you and the principle of conscious creation taught by It Works. When I first started using the technique used in this book, I wrote my first list and started getting great results. Then after a month or so, I stopped writing and reviewing the list and tried to do it in my head. I didn't get the same results. I went back to using the list and the great results started happening again. Then I got what I wanted and let things slide, and the so repeated. Meanwhile, I started studying the ideas and teaching them to others. In the process, I learned some interesting things. I learned is that each of us has a spark from the creator, which is our own personal creator, like a genie from a magic lamp. The problem with this genie is that he responds to every thought in my mind as if it were a command. If I think of something with desire, he starts creating that for me. If I start to worry or fear, he starts to erase that creation. Wherever I put my attention, the genie starts multiplying that attention into a real experience in my life. All of this creation takes place in a part of my mind called the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the part of the mind that holds a tremendous creative power that you can learn to tap into and use. However, it has a special way of working that you must understand if you want to use subconscious mind power effectively. If your attention wanders all over the place, your subconscious becomes full of half-created thought forms, and your life is chaotic or boring. That's because the genie is busy trying to do a million different things at once, many of which contradict each other. His efforts always follow in the track of your attention, and until you get your attention going in a constant direction, you don't get the results you would like. The plan given in It Works helps you to control your attention and put that genie to work with enough time and focus to produce real and complete results. It will work the same way for you. The conscious mind sets the agenda but often get distracted by the half-formed and malformed effects of previous wishes and desires. Many of those desires are unconsciously created with incomplete understanding or fear or worry. The genie does what you tell him to do, but he listens to your daydreams and worries and treats them as commands. This creative power responds to what you believe. I've come to realize that what I believe is not necessarily the same as what I think. It's easy to know what I believe. It is what I act on. It is what I do even while I am unable to admit to myself. What I really believe, my subconscious mind is working to make circumstances, opportunities, and events in my life to experience those beliefs. How do I change what I believe so that I can get what I want? There is a simple way to do this. It has been discovered and rediscovered by teachers and writers throughout the ages. Here it is. You can imagine what you want. You can pretend that it is so. And you can repeat this over and over. The creative genie of your subconscious mind responds to imagination, focused attention, and repetition. That's what the book It Works is all about. How to get faster and better results. Here are the things that will help you create more successfully when you use the techniques presented in It Works. These are things that I have discovered in the last 25 years of using It Works. Each of these is a suggestion based on actual experience with using the list. Use the ideas that sound good to you. The most important thing is to do exactly what it says. Follow the plan exactly. Create a list. Include what you really desire in order of its importance to you. Read the list 3 times a day. Think of the items on the list as often as you can. And don't tell anyone what you are doing. For faster demonstration of results, you can rewrite the list each day. Even if it hasn't changed, reorder the items on the list according to their importance to you. Doing this makes the ideas new again and will lead you to more rapid success. It's also important to do something physical with your ideas as soon as possible. Writing them out is a way to give them entry into the outer world of manifestation. It creates a toehold for their growth into waking reality. You can read the list out loud in a firm voice and tape it. Then play the tape over and over again. Perhaps in your car as you commute to and from work. This needs to be done and played in private. That's easy nowadays. So play it back over and over again. Put real amounts, specific items, and specific dates in your list. Some people worry that this is outlining and delays a manifestation. But what good is it to get Coke when you want Pepsi? Or Pepsi when you want Coke? You don't plant strawberries and expect to harvest watermelons. The most important thing is not a particular item on your list, but developing the power of conscious creation. Do you have trouble remembering the items on your list? If so, it may be that they are not really that important to you. Try memorizing the items on your list. Are you having trouble finding 10 things to put on your list? Are you unsure which things should really be on that list? Here's an easy way to build your list. Ask yourself, what do I think about all day? That is what should be on your list. You may have to start by listing your worries and then turn each of them into a positive desire. For example, what do you worry about? What would need to happen for you to not worry about this anymore? If you have trouble finding things that you want to, try thinking of it in another way. What would you like to see happen? How will you know it is working? When you receive an idea about something that is on your list, act on it in a positive way. Sometimes the thing you want requires a few intermediate steps. Be ready to go through several doorways as they open before you to reach your goal. If you want a car, perhaps you will find yourself creating a new set of tires first, or a garage to keep the car in. Realize that many of the things you want will find you. You will be tempted to say, but I didn't do anything, it just happened. Your inner mind genie will use the simplest and most efficient way to create the results you imagine. It doesn't care who gets the credit. After a while, you won't either. Remember that your genie is working non-stop according to the program that you set for him. If you say this can't be working, he will do his best to make that seem true, even while he continues his non-stop creation of the things you ask for. How will you know it is working? For most people, it is not one thing or two things, but the fact that one thing after another manifests in their lives. The first thing you get from your list seems to be a coincidence. The second is luck. The third is serendipity. And the fourth is a miracle. Finally, after many creations, when your friends start wondering what the heck is going on, you will realize there is a simple and rational law of operation, and that you know how to use it. Get excited and enthusiastic about the good things coming into your life. If this doesn't seem natural to you, go ahead and use your power of pretend to fake it until you make it. Appreciation is the oil of the engine of creation. Enthusiasm and excitement are manifestations of your appreciation and a confirmation of your positive expectation. The attitudes that will delay your success or confuse your creation. Many jealousy, envy, resentment, reservations, uncertainty, and indecisiveness. Put all of those to the side. The more you recognize your own creative ability, the less you will care about those things. You just won't have time for those ways of thinking anymore. There is no such thing as a negative thought. Every thought has a positive result in reproducing itself. Everything you think about grows in your mind and becomes part of your physical life. That's why it is so important to control what you are thinking. The key to controlling your mind is replacing the thoughts that create what you don't want with the thoughts that create what you do want. You do not resist the old thoughts. You replace them by putting your attention somewhere else. Using your list is your key to accomplishing this. Use this physical tool to reinforce the thoughts that you want to. Think of your subconscious mind as a sailboat in the middle of the ocean. The sailboat is blown everywhere back and forth by the wind, which is the power of thought. It needs a keel and a rudder to be able to set a course that makes way to a certain destination. Your list is the keel and the rudder of your subconscious sailboat. Thoughts follow a certain structure in your mind. The idea comes first, then the belief, then the attitude, and then the behavior. Your strongest foundation. The anchor of your thinking begins with your behavior. Change your behavior. Then change the attitude that changing the behavior reveals. Then change the belief that inspires the attitude to grab hold of an idea that is bigger and more inclusive than the small ideas that have kept you poor and unhappy. When you are tempted to tell everyone what you are doing to make the changes in your life, send them a copy of this book instead. After you have received 40 things you have asked for, you can start talking about the process you are using. Keep a list of everything you get until you receive 40 things. Many people have found this book and used it to get one important thing, and then abandon this method. How did this book come into your life? Your genie brought it to you, or brought you to it in response to your conscious or unconscious desire to create a specific experience, or to understand creation itself. Take advantage of this experience, and make this intelligent conscious creation a way of life, not a one-time experience. Hey Peter, get back in the boat. The other 11 epistles. Trying to control other people and make decisions for them is a misuse of your own creative power. The most important thing you can make is a decision. Trying to take the opportunity for creation away from others is based on fear, not love. Fear in your mind will generally create things you do not want. But Lu people learn their lessons. God loves them too. I learned something wonderful a long time ago that will give you freedom. I can't prove anything to you about anything important or meaningful. However, I can tell you how you can experiment and prove these things to yourself. If I walk on water, you will be looking for the rocks. If you walk on water, you will know that there are no rocks. Using this list will show you how to walk on the water of your life. You will have to learn to politely ignore your friends. They yell, "Hey Peter, get back in the boat." The Toyota principle. The subconscious mind creation process goes on all the time. You don't have to be good to make it work. You don't have to do chanting exercises or repeat magic words. You are rich now with the results of what you have been thinking about. Your life is always full of something. If you want to be rich with something else, change what you are thinking about. As you develop your ability to consciously direct your creation process, as you build your confidence and increase your willpower, your results will come more quickly and be more satisfying. Don't delay this process by calling the results coincidence. Wait until you have received at least 40 items on your list by receiving something, and then replacing the list item with a new item before you judge the results as a coincidence or creation. You are already a success at creating what you are thinking about. The biggest enemy of conscious control is self-importance, which may manifest in disguise as self-deprecation. Worry about what others think of you, or the desire to have others approve of you. Don't let your ego distract you from taking control of your mind. In your life, everything in your life is there because you have asked for it. Through either desire or fear, nothing comes to you by itself. I call this the Toyota principle, because there used to be a commercial advertisement on television for a certain car company with the catchphrase, "You asked for it, you got it, Toyota." When you have used your list for a while, you will begin to see this is true. And then, vast realms of possibilities will open up in your life. It's a friendly universe. If you are of certain religious orientations, you might be concerned about this creative process and think to yourself, is this a possible affront to God? I don't think it is. Think of the New Testament phrase, pray without ceasing. I've decided that this is a description of what we do all the time. We pray non-stop without knowing it. Practice of the method of conscious creation will show you what prayer is, how it works, and that it is always functioning. I am firmly convinced that learning how my mind works and how to use it more effectively to help myself and others is what God wants me to do. How about you? You don't have to believe in God to use the list. However, don't be surprised if using the list shows you that there is order and structure to the universe, including your mind as a part of that universe. Your world is a lot closer to you and more responsive to you than you may have considered it to be. It's a friendly universe. Be careful about including other people on your list. If you want joint happiness with Jane or Bill, is the joint happiness more important? Or the relationship with Jane or Bill? Maybe the best way to be happy with Jane is to let her go find Bill. Then let Tamika come find you. As long as you are focused on what someone can give to you, you aren't yet completely experiencing love. May be tempting to think your success is dependent on the candle it happens to come through. Your job, your family, a particular relationship or thing you possess. Time and experience will show you that this is not so. In the meantime, place your sense of appreciation and thankfulness on the creator within you, which made you into his image as a creator. When the river of your life changes its channel, you had better be ready to go with the flow. How fast will it work? Faster than you will expect. I put the number 1 item on my list last week and manifested it in 2 days. I thought it would be 6 months or maybe never. Fortunately, while writing and then rewriting that list item, I suspended my disbelief. So even before your pen finishes the sentence, the act of creation has begun. And of course, there is no magic in the pen or paper. The magic is in making the decision a physical thing, instead of just a mental idea. No matter how long you use this method, there will be times when you're just utterly amazed at what happens to you. It isn't happening. You are creating it. How fast can it happen? Don't blink twice or you'll miss it. Everything you think will try to prove itself, including your skepticism. If you are afraid of what others will think of you, or of what you will think of yourself, then you may be fooling yourself while thinking you are being completely rational. The world is plastic to the molding power of your thoughts, even while you think this isn't true, or don't have a thought about it at all. Everything lives and moves and has its being in a sea of self-modifying thought. You can prove this to yourself and put it to effective use with a simple experiment. Work with the list for a few weeks or months. Doesn't take much time or effort. You have nothing to lose. No one will even know you are doing it. They will just think that you have suddenly become incredibly lucky, intelligent, charming, and good looking. It helps to smile a lot. Creating complete mind pictures is very helpful. This is another book in itself. Feeling joy and enthusiasm about your mental creation is very helpful. It will start to happen naturally as you use this process over and over, because it works. And adaptation